and introduce our players. Should be a good one. Our first map going to be Jaedong Station. And down in, or up in, the top left, our Zerg player in controls Crush. It is Jaedong.
Has to win this match to guarantee his spot in the top 3.
That's right, a very important one. His opponent in the bottom right from Team Liquid, our Protoss player, HerO.
Playing very, very well against SC2 in the opening match today. Yeah, I'm definitely looking favored to win this game as well. Starting on this the map where he had the weirdest of builds.
Yeah, that was such a weird build here. Do you think there's any possibility he'll do that again?
Maybe. Maybe. Like, I feel like it's a build that has to be unscouted. Like, it kind of just has to be. It's very, very kind of gimmicky in that sort of way. And I mean, it is Jaedong. It is a different player. He definitely doesn't play the same way as SC2 plays this matchup. As you can see from the start here, no quick scout with the drone, no offensive hatchery. And HerO just doing the exact same kind of style, going for that forward fast expand.
Well, if that's what you practice, you may as well go for it.
Yeah, man. It is old school, but it still works.
Yeah. It's still like, I think it's still a reasonable opener, but it is a little bit dated. It is dated,
and I mean, like, the timings have been completely figured out at this point.
Yeah.
Like, generally, like, Zerg will kind of just have a sigh of relief and be like, okay, I have this much time to kind of just macro, go 3 base before I have to really worry about anything. But at the same time, it does put the Protoss into a pretty comfortable position, and it gives them a timing for an upgrade as well if they want to go for a +1 timing, whether to take a 3rd base or to kill. You know, it definitely gives a lot of avenues for both races.
Well, you know, I want to talk just a little bit about that Phoenix strategy that we saw last time, because he did kind of make it look good, but
he did.
SC2 like did a way over committal into the natural, and I think that's like kind of where he lost the game.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, even if HerO does that again, and even if it goes a little bit unscouted, which it did against SC2, like a little bit unscouted. You didn't see it till like 5 or 6 Phoenixes, but I don't think that Jaedong would make that type of mistake. So I actually want HerO to do it again so I can see, will this work against another Zerg player? Yeah,
I would like to see it again, just to see what Jaedong would do, because I'm sure Jaedong will have ideas about dealing with it.
Well, Jaedong going to go ahead, take that 3rd base, as you always will, against the Forge Fast expansion.
Yep, very natural sort of build order there. One that's actually been done for years now. Like, it has been for years since this build has been around, and no surprises there. But we do still see a probe in the main base as well of Jaedong. I think a Queen is scouting for it and has found it. Should be able to take it out, or at least damage it quite a lot.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything done with that. Like, I haven't seen someone be able to successfully get
a pylon.
A pylon in the main in like a very long time.
That kind of went out of fashion in the beta of Wings of Liberty, man. Like,
it's something
Zerg
like that.
finally realized that you have to scout the outside of your bases, or you will just die. So that's I haven't seen that in a very long time. But you know what? Fair enough here. Pretty early gas here from Jaedong, actually. It looks like he wants to go for a rather early link speed to kind of get map control and maybe go for a timing on the 3rd base if we see a greedy HerO.
Well, we'll see how greedy he does want to be. It's going to be a little bit, though.
Even getting an evolution chamber at this point as well.
Oh, that's kind of cool. What's that for?
Okay, I think it could be for Ling +1 melee.
Yeah.
That's probably the most normal thing from here. From there, I mean, like, it can definitely lead into like a mid-game more muta play, because you do definitely see a lot of Ling upgrades into mutas very, very often, even if they go roaches. So we'll have to wait and see what it's going to be for, and it's going to be for the +1 melee.
You know, I'm actually really glad to see this, because I actually was meaning to talk to you about specifically this really quick +1 melee attack opener, because I've definitely seen it popping up a bit more lately. So why don't you kind of go over what does this do for the Zerg player? Why does he want +1 melee so quickly? Well,
it definitely obviously makes your Ling's a lot stronger when you go for a timing on the 3rd base, which is generally what they want to do. This map is so important for Zergs to kind of counterattack on this map. It has a lot of avenues, and we definitely see a lot of heavy Ling aggression on this map to kind of try and deny that 3rd and kind of set up the Zerg on a comfortable 3 to 4 bases, and they can transition to mutas very, very easily. And I mean, once you have mutas, you definitely want Zerglings to complement them, especially against Stalkers. So I really I like this upgrade a lot, and we see Su do it more than anyone else. He always goes for the Ling upgrades, the +1 melee, and he will always go into muta from this. And he does it so well, and, it makes so much sense.
Well, you know, a lot of the Brood War pro gamer Zergs that are now Zergs in StarCraft 2, like builds like this because it leads into Mutalisk, and Mutalisk is such a comfortable thing for them. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before. When Jaedong goes for Swarm Host, sometimes it's a bit sloppy. He doesn't seem like the best Swarm Host player, but this guy was the god of Mutalisks in StarCraft 1, so I would love to see him focus on that in this tournament.
No doubt it'd be where he's most comfortable, no doubt about that. And yeah, I would love to see some Muta play from him. I mean, he is amazing at CVZ, and his Mutas in that, his Zerglings in that. It's the same kind of, I think it definitely is where he's most comfortable, just because that is his style. He likes to play that aggressive, fast-paced sort of game.
Well, so far we see this is kind of similar to what we saw from HerO last time, but a little bit different, right? Like a later +1, he's adding 3 gates instead of 2, no Stargates. Probably is going to go for a third base here, or do you think maybe he's going to go for Force Field in the ramp, something like that with the Warp Prism?
Yeah, he could do. I mean, it is moving out now, but no sentries in it, so it doesn't look like he will go for that, but at the same time, so many Zerglings, and they have +1 already here. Unfortunately for Jaedong, no third base down just yet.
Yeah, you know how I said it was a different build? Well, I lied. it is a slower +1 than last game, but he is grabbing double Stargate, so we'll see how that works out for him.
Yeah, this is very interesting here. Double Stargate again, so I'm guessing it is going to be Phoenix again. Jaedong's going to have to really identify this and be like, okay, but hang on a second, because look how many Zerglings we actually have on the map. Jaedong just wants to bust the front.
Oh my.
I think.
I don't think he can do it, though. Like, you can't bust a wall on Zerglings.
Well, you can't, but that is too many Zerglings to have on the map without kind of having some sort of reason behind it. I know, like, he wanted to kill the third base, but HerO never put it down. He just he's like, okay, you got +1 links on the map. I'm not going to expand yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait till Colossi after my 2 Stargate Phoenix.
Well, he is getting that Colossus tech. He is making those Phoenixes as well, and definitely, you know, it looks like Jaedong opened up wanting to go into Mutas at some point, but against someone who already has Phoenixes and 2 Stargate, that's not going to be what you want to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Jaedong definitely went for a massive timing and invested so much larvae and minerals into this insane amount of Zerglings. It's like, it is actually insane. He's got 45 lings on the map, and they haven't done anything. I mean, they have killed a probe with the third, so they kind of made HerO a little bit scared of expanding, sure. Yeah. And if HerO commits now, he will also lose the fight. So I can kind of see this maybe working if HerO is greedy.
Okay, so, I mean, I think you're looking at this, Moonglade, and saying Jaedong maybe a little bit behind because of how he's chosen to play this to try to get a little aggressive. HerO, though, he's using kind of a weird tech route. I'm wondering, where do you want to see Jaedong go from here? Because again, the Mutalisks are not going to be a good call against all these Phoenixes.
No, I definitely think he's going to have to go into like the Hydra style from here. Like, I think like he has made a lot of roaches as well, so it looks like he wants to go for like a Ling Roach kind of timing attack on the third base if it ever comes, or like some sort of anti-2 base push sort of army he's making right now. I think he's kind of confused. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't know that HerO does like to go for that 2-gate Phoenix, and like he's like, well,
that's
there
definitely
must be
possible.
like either Colossi or some sort of Immortal or Blink Stalker. Like, I just have to make units and I have to crush whatever comes out.
He's been playing matches kind of non-stop, so there's definitely the possibility you didn't get to talk to anyone and be like, hey, what exactly did he do against Saxtery? So I think that could be the case. And now that Phoenixes are flying out, he should be getting just slightly a little bit surprised by this for sure.
He's like, oh, okay, it's this, and that's a lot of Phoenix here, but it's still not going to be enough to stop the roaches by themselves.
No.
We see one Void Ray on the way already, and the second one just queued up here. This third base should absolutely be cancelled, and it's going to give Jaedong a bit more time to kind of transition here, and we're still waiting to see exactly what he's going to go into. I would be surprised if it's anything but Hydra.
Yeah, like, well, on this tech, on layer tech, he's going to have to go into Hydra. And especially with these Void Rays popping out as well.
Look in the main base, Artosis. We have actually a huge problem in the main right now that the Warp Prism actually snuck in, and the ramp is secured.
Well, when this happens, you're kind of dead as a third player. This main base is not going to be saved, I would say. As long as HerO just focuses right here.
Well, he's just right-clicking the lair, man. He's actually just going to kill the lair, ignore everything else. Jaedong committing all his drones as well as what's coming out of the hatchery. But down it goes. Down goes the main, simple as that.
Well, with the layer gone, this is really rough. He's committed a ton of units up here. Should be able to kill off all the tech as well. As long as he force fields this ramp, that is a big army from Jaedong, but he's down to 2 bases now against a very tech-heavy HerO.
I mean, all HerO has to do is make Colossi and Sentries and some Stalkers, and he will never die. He doesn't have to take a third base yet, but hang on a second. Counterattack here from Jaedong. If he catches this army outside, he could just kill it. Ooh,
well, kind of good force fields for a moment and then not so good afterwards. But look, this is Zealot and Colossus. Like, this is going to shred through Zerglings, even though they do have that 1-1. But the Roaches come up, good force fields. They do hold them back. The Colossus is going to go back into the wall. Wow.
Really nice control from HerO, actually. Great force field, zoning out what he needed to. And he kept the Colossi alive as well. So he's done everything he had to do. And from here, there's not really much Jaedong can do. I mean, he doesn't have the army to beat this army anymore. That was like the only trump card he had was like, okay, I have enough ground army to kind of bully you. But now there's 2 Void Rays. There's enough ground units to kind of keep the Roaches distracted while the Void Rays clean up everything. And great time warps as well on these Roaches to save what he can, but hang on.
Oh my god, a lot of Roaches coming up, and he's actually going to pick off some Colossi here. Oh, doesn't quite get the other one. Another great force field, but there's not that many force fields left. He might be able to break through this wall and do even more damage, but no, the Phoenix is coming back, and that should be enough.
That should be enough at this point. Jaedong committing everything to this 3rd base, and, you know, I think it's just a matter of time until everything is wiped out, and we can see HerO kind of comfortably get that 3rd base in the future here, especially when the Immortals start coming out and the gateway units start to build up a bit more.
Yeah, very, very true. That these Phoenixes just being worth so much in this game at this point, it really just killing off the attack of Jaedong. Now Jaedong is sitting here on 2 bases. He has buildings that are bleeding out. He's got his lair again, sure, and trying to go into Spire. But I mean, on 2 bases, how many Corruptors can you truly afford?
Yeah, especially when you have already Void Rays being made. I think, how many we got so far? We still only have 2. I thought we had 2 more on the way. Yeah, there's actually 4 Void Rays out, but the rest haven't joined the army yet. So you're going to need a lot of Corruptors to deal with that, especially when you got a lot of Phoenix as well to take hits. And then you want to kill the Colossi before anything else, but that is too much damage. That's too much anti-air.
I mean, if he had 4 bases, I'd be like, oh, okay, you can go Corruptors against this.
Yeah, you can make 16 Corruptors and kill everything, I guess, but...
As is, he's making 6, and that's 10 less than 16.
Yeah, he just hasn't got enough, man. There's just simply no way. Plus 2 on the way, as well as Blank. I mean, HerO is in such a dominant position right now. He just has to sit back. He doesn't have to do anything else.
Well, he is sitting back right now. He's getting the Blank, the +2, setting up this 3rd base very nicely. A good Sim City. More Corruptors on the way. So, you know, we'll see if maybe he can get up to that critical mass to kill everything off. But it's looking quite grim at the moment. And I got to say, Mooglade, I'm like pretty surprised. HerO just keeps using his strategy, and it's working.
It actually, yeah, I'm very surprised it worked again. I mean, Phoenix always have a use against Zerg for sure. Like, I can't blame him for going it, but yeah, just not the best handling from Jaedong. Jaedong going for a bit more of a kind of a standard sort of style, going for a great timing on a Protoss that would go for a 3rd base, but it just didn't happen because of this greedy, like, very, very gas-heavy build that HerO is just investing in.
Well, these Phoenixes once again getting quite a few drone kills over here, really being worth their weight in gas, and it looks like, well, the Corruptors will chase them away, and that is a lot of Corruptors now.
That is a lot. That was 10 drones, by the way, that went down. That is a lot of kills. I mean, if he just keeps making Void Rays from here, he's got 2 Stargate, 3 bases, 6 gases, Stargates, 2 Stargates, and a Robo making Colossi, then Zealots, and you are sitting pretty. Yeah,
it is quite a composition that he's built for himself here. You know, I keep on thinking about this strategy that he has and like what it actually is doing here, and it's very interesting because, you know, we never see anyone open Robo and not all in with it anymore, really. You'd always open Twilight or Stargate into a 3rd base if you want to play a macro game, but he opens with the Robo and kind of like is like, okay, that's going to be for splash damage, some light harassment, while I go anti-air units and harassment units out of the Stargate. So it's like, it's a very interesting build. Yeah, it is. It's very different. It's definitely HerO's own sort of style, which I appreciate for sure, especially in today's meta where like things are kind of getting figured out, and generally you don't see much variation, but this is completely different. Yeah, it's definitely fresh, to say the least. But we do have Jaedong at this point going into Swarm Host. I guess I can't really blame him considering he's in this behind position, even though we were talking about not wanting to see him do this. Yeah, I think now that we've seen HerO like kind of fly over them, he's like, okay, you're going into that kind of style. I don't want to have a 30-minute game here. I think I can kill you now. He has the air to do it. There's not enough anti-air here. There is a lot of Corruptors, but I mean, there's a lot of Void Rays as well. That's right. He's adding like some Queens, but you know, you're going to need quite a few Queens to be able to counteract this army, that's for sure. Yeah, nice force cancel. Yeah, nice little cancel there.
Jaedong still hasn't tried to get his 4th base, which is actually a big problem. You don't want to even sit on 3 base against 3 base Protoss, even with Swarm Host. You want to get that middle ground more than anything else because it is so hard to attack into.
Well, we'll see if he can actually grab that area up in the center of the map. He does have still some creep spread out there, which is quite nice. I'm actually a bit surprised about that even. And he is going up into the Hive.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think about going to this Hive? Is this just going to be to grab a few Vipers?
I think it has to be Vipers, yeah. Like, there's nothing else you can really go on 3 base. Like, 6 gas is not enough for anything but, like, one unit, which is going to be Swarm Host. And, yeah, he's going to keep making Swarm Host and then go into some Vipers as well, save enough gas for that. But he is looking at death right now, and the Spy's getting focused down. And, I mean, look at this Death Ball. How is he going to fight this Death Ball?
Oh, I don't know. Not very well, Moonglade. It looks like these Corruptors being pushed back oh so quickly. The Void Ray is going to be able to erase them in a matter of seconds. The Void Rays themselves at this point can finish this game.
Yeah, I think it would even be smart for HerO to kind of realize that and just leave with everything else. Let the Void Rays focus down every hatchery and just defend. Like, that'd be maybe what I would want to do, but GG.